So, born into the legendary family of the Ford family, the eldest of two sons of Tennessee Ernie, what was it like growing up?
Well, Dad made a point as his profile and his brand began to really rise quickly.
Mm-hmm.
He made a point of making sure that the home life that my brother and I and our mom and that we all had as a family was affected as minimally as he could design.
Okay.
He didn't. He had a big problem with what was called at the time the Hollywood lifestyle.
Oh yes,
and
yes.
Made sure that my brother and I knew the value of chores and knew the value of respect and
Okay.
knew the value of living life as normally as possible.
Of course, yes.
It wasn't always possible, but as normally as he could make it.
Sure. So I should ask you first of all, for those who never got to meet your father, what was he like in person?
He was, my father was an ordinary man.
Okay.
That God blessed with an extraordinary talent.
Yes, he sure was.
And those two aspects of his personality were always present. There was a famous saying that we all had around, what you saw with Dad was what you got.
Okay.
And he rarely, if ever, projected any other sort of an image other than who he truly was under the tuxedo, under the makeup.
Okay.
And that I think was largely what endeared him to so many millions of people over his career.
Exactly. Yep. So your father was born 100 years ago this March.
That's correct. Yes, he was born February 13th of
Yes.
1919. He was born in Bristol, Tennessee.
I don't know why this says March. Sorry. It was February. The day before.
February 13th.
Yes, the day before Valentine's Day. So we're celebrating here.
Way to remember it, yes.
Exactly. So we're celebrating here his 100th centennial year. And what do you think your father would say about being 100?
I would think he would say, I feel that God has blessed me to be around this long.
Okay.
And I only hope I can be around for a little while longer.
Yes.
Ernest Ford was a man that loved life.
Okay.
And, if he had been here at 100, he'd have something to say about it, that's for sure.
Okay. Uh-huh. And born in the birthplace of country music, he had a great deal to do with country music. What was his childhood like growing up? Did he ever tell about the stories of when country music came to town or anything like that?
Yes, of course. His dad was from a musical family. His mother and father were both very active in the local church choirs and local chorale groups. With Dad's older brother Stanley, the two of them, Stanley and Dad, and their father Thomas Clarence, better known as T.C.
Okay.
And his mother formed a small little group that played at various festivals and cannings and small little county fairs in the area, and they were called the Cornfield Canaries.
Oh wow!
And Dan really cut his teeth though as a singer through his time in church.
Yes, of course.
When he was in high school, he was very active as a first chair trombonist in the Bristol High School band, and when he graduated, he went to the Cincinnati Conservatory of Music for a season, for a semester.
Okay.
And he trained in opera there. He trained under the world-famous vocal instructor Hubert Conference at the Cincinnati Conservatory. And Dad learned his craft, really learned his craft as an opera singer. And as beyond that, as a classical singer. He never ventured. He did not venture into really thinking about himself as a
country singer,
as a pop singer, singer, or certainly as a country singer, until midway through World War II, and when he began doing a lot of radio in Southern California. Up to that time, he was a classically trained vocalist with an absolutely commanding bass baritone.
And he sure did have a lot of bass in one of his greatest anthems, and that was 16 Tons. Would you tell us about that?
16 Tons is a song that was, first of all, to begin with, was written by perhaps one of America's greatest songwriters.
Yes.
A man by the name of Merle Travis.
Merle Travis, yes.
Merle Travis had really positioned himself in the American popular music and country and Western hierarchy when he came back from World War II and wrote a song called "No Vacancy."
Okay.
No Vacancy was a song that took the government to task for not having adequate housing for servicemen at the end of World War II.
Okay.
And it brought him up on the House Un-American Activities Committee radar and the FBI's radar. And in 1946, he released an album of self-penned folk songs and adapted folk songs called Folk Songs from the Hills. It was an accordion album.
Okay.
Some of your listeners may know what that was. It was like one of the first kinds of box sets.
Oh, okay.
And in that album was a self-penned song called 16 Tons that sprung from a letter that his father, Merle's father, had written to a serviceman overseas when asked, how is your life going? How are you? And Merle's father, who was a miner for the Hazard County and Hazard, Kentucky coal groups, Peabody Coal Company, wrote back a line in a letter that said, I'm doing the best I can. I'm another day older. I'm deeper in debt, and some days it feels like I owe my soul to the company store.
Okay.
Those images were images directly from the life of the indentured coal miner in America during the 30s and 40s. People who literally owed more than they were making to the company stores because of the low rate of pay and inadequate housing that forced miners and their families to go into debt to company stores. Miners were not paid with money. They were paid with tips.
Yeah.
And exactly. And you brought that tit in, and you got as many, whatever volume of milk and eggs and butter and baking goods and meat that your tit would allow you to buy, and then you would go into debt to the mining company for what you couldn't pay for.
Exactly. Yes.
And you couldn't leave the company until you had paid your debt.
So in many ways, you did owe them your soul.
Right. It was exactly.
Yeah.
And that song brought him up further on the FBI's radar, on J. Edgar Hoover's radar, to the point of where FBI agents and government personnel were visiting radio stations all over America, encouraging people not to play Merle Travis music.
Is that right? Yes.
That was in 1946 and 47. Now jump ahead to 1955, to September of 1955. And Dad knew that song. He remembered that song, and he was stuck for 2 pieces of material to record for Capitol Records to keep his contract up. And one of the songs that was suggested to him, he'd done it live, was to do the version that his musical conductor had written for 16 Tons. The session almost didn't happen because he was told by the very same government people, you cannot do this song.
Okay.
This song was written by a seditious human being, by Merle Travis, a writer we are investigating, and if you sing this song, it will be the end of your career.
Yeah, and they could do it back then, too.
And he went into it and did the session. And, of course, it's all history after that. In 4 weeks, the song had sold nearly 4 million copies.
Yeah.
By 10 weeks, the song had become the fastest-selling single in the history of the music business.
And may I ask if that's because it was black marketed, that people wanted to hear it?
It was never black marketed.
No, okay.
Once it got out, it was never black marketed. But what happened was it was recorded as the B side.
Oh, okay.
The A side was a great blues and pop number called "You Don't Have to Be a Baby to Cry."
Yes, I remember that one. Yeah.
During those years, the B side on a promotional record never got heard.
Exactly. Yes.
Because it was the B side. That wasn't what was shipped. We think, history tells us, that a disc jockey in Kansas City mistakenly flipped the disc and played the wrong song.
Oh, wow.
And once that happened, and 16 Tons was heard, and it was out on the airwaves, it became, overnight, one of the biggest, fastest-selling singles in the history of the music business.
And is to this day. Yeah.
To this day.
Yeah.
To this day. That's correct.
Okay. And I must ask you, with this being the centennial 100th birthday of your beloved father, what plans do you have to celebrate this milestone?
We are so very excited to be to be participating in what's going to be an incredible event, a week-long event.
Oh, wow.
In the hometown of Bristol, Tennessee.
Yes.
From February 10th through the 14th.
Okay.
We're going to be there on for a number of different performances, a number of different video sessions. The Birthplace of Country Music Museum, which is an incredible Smithsonian wing in Bristol, Tennessee, is devoting an entire floor to an exhibit on dance life.
Oh, okay.
100th birthday, the Paramount Center for the Arts is going to present 2 days' worth of screenings of classic Ford shows and music. There's going to be tours of his home birthplace and a number of radio appearances that I'm going to be able to make, much like yours, my man.
Yes,
and,
good.
So we're looking forward to just a huge week of events, and I just can't even begin to say how grateful we are to not only all the folks that are helping corporately to sponsor this centennial, but also to you, Johnny, for reaching out and
thank you.
Getting us out there, getting the word out there about Dad's centennial through all of your listeners on Way Back Country.
Yes.
I would just say a huge hello to everyone out there listening. It's an honor to be on your show, my man.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's an honor to have you on here. Now, if I might...
It's going to be a great event, and we're really looking forward to it. We have a lot of promotion that's going to be launching in the next day or so, and it's going to be a very, very cool thing.
Great. Now, you authored a book about your father's life titled Ernie Ford and the Women He Loved. Would you tell us about this?
Actually, let me just quickly jump in.
Yeah.
The title of the book is River of No Return.
Yes, okay.
Tennessee Ernie Ford and the Woman.
The Woman, yes. Sorry about that.
It is not. It was never written, and is not a biography.
Oh, is it not? Okay.
It's a memoir of the lives of two people, my mother and father.
Okay.
Their lives together. You could not. The entire persona of Tennessee Ernie Ford did not come about, did not arise until after his marriage to my mother.
Okay.
In 1942, and she was as integral and important a part of the life and career of Ernest Ford as anyone. And I realized early on when I began writing the book that I could not write a book about him without writing a book about her. And so it became a memoir of the lives of two people as opposed to a biography of one.
Okay, sure. And where can our listeners go to get that book?
Folks can log on to Amazon.com and simply type in River of No Return, Tennessee Ernie Ford and the Woman He Loved, and boom, it'll come right up. You can also log on to ErnieFord.com and just go to shop, the shopping link, and you'll see a link there for the book, and that will link you directly to Amazon as well.
Great.
And I'm going to be getting your signed copy out in the mail as soon as possible.
Oh, thank you.
I have not forgotten my promise.
Okay, thanks. Can you put something about his 100th birthday on there? That'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That'll be, I'll do exactly that. Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks. So, before we say goodbye for today, and I must ask you, how would you like your father's legacy to be continued into the coming years? This here is a milestone birthday, but after that, and he's out of the limelight a little bit more, what would you like people to remember him as?
I would like people to remember Ernest Ford as an American singer.
Okay.
Period.
Sure.
That, I think, is exactly... Look, my father has received some of the highest awards that can ever be given to someone.
Mm-hmm.
He was friends with presidents and queens and kings.
Uh-huh.
But what he was an ordinary man blessed with an extraordinary talent.
He sure was.
That is how I think Ernie Ford would want to be remembered. An ordinary man blessed with an extraordinary talent.
Mm-hmm. Sure. And one last question I do have that I'd like to know a little bit of history on personally is where did sorry about this. He appeared on the I Love Lucy show as well as Lucille Ball's The Lucy Show. How did this come to be?
That's right. Well, when he first did I Love Lucy, first of all, that was a watershed moment in the series I Love Lucy because it was the very first two-part episode in the series history. And not only was it the first two-part episode, but it was the first episode built completely around the outside character, and that the character of Ford.
Exactly.
Cousin Ernie. And he had earned the fandom and friendship of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz through his appearances on radio, on his own radio series. Through his appearances on Hometown Jamboree with Cliffy Stone, where Dad was a regular. Hometown Jamboree was one of the first nationally syndicated
country music shows,
pop variety shows, to be broadcast out of Los Angeles, along with Rocket to Stardom and a number of other shows like this.
Yeah.
Well, he came up on Lucille Ball's radar, and came up on Desi Arnaz's radar, and they said, let's build an episode around him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it not only was the first two-part episode, he did three.
Okay.
It was the first two-part episode, but that two-part episode became one of the most popular I Love Lucy episodes ever broadcast, and was Lucille Ball's personal favorite.
Is that right? Okay.
It was so strong that he came back, as you might know, and was the guest star on the episode Tennessee Bound, when Lucy, Ricky, and Fred and Ethel were driving from New York to California. They stopped in Bent Fork, Tennessee, and Dad is there. And that was his third I Love Lucy appearance. And then, of course, many years later, when Lucy was doing The Lucy Show, she invited Dad back, and he did, I think, three. I think he did Here's Lucy and The Lucille Ball Show.
Exactly, yes.
And those episodes, those series, to be frank, did not do as well for her as the original series, I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
They weren't cut from the same cloth, but he remained and they remained very close friends throughout his entire life.
Exactly, yes. Okay. Well, I want to thank you for being on the show today, not Mr. Ford, but Buck, and it's been a pleasure talking to you.
You bet, Johnny. Thank you.
Thank you.
A real pleasure speaking with you. And so long to all your fans out there. I hope everyone has a wonderful 2019. I look forward to talking with you again soon.
Okay, and I'll be down in Nashville come October, so maybe we can hook up sometime.
Let's get together. Absolutely. You better not come down here without calling me.
Okay, I won't. Thank you.
That sounds great, Johnny.
Okay.
I appreciate it, man. Have a great rest of the day and a great weekend. Loved talking to you. Thank you, man.
I will, and I'll call you as soon as I get to Nashville.
You got it, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.